Wealthy billionaire watches. Homeless black girl teach his daughter. His reaction transforms their lives forever. In a world where appearances are everything, one wealthy billionaire's life is forever altered by a brief moment of humility and understanding. On the surface, he lives a life of luxury, untouchable and indifferent to the struggles of others. But when he unexpectedly witnesses a homeless black girl teaching his daughter life lessons that go far beyond what money can buy, everything he thought he knew about success, race, and human connection is shaken. The billionaire's response to this moment will not only change the trajectory of his own life, but also that of his family and those around him. Still, it will spark a chain of events that none of them could have ever predicted. The story begins in the sprawling mansion of a powerful billionaire, Mark Richards. With an empire built on business and real estate, he has everything most people could dream of: luxury cars, private jets, and a lifestyle many envy. His daughter, Emily, is everything he hopes for: smart, well-mannered, and set to inherit his wealth and business empire. One afternoon, while taking a break from his board meetings, Mark's attention is drawn to his daughter, who's spending time in the mansion's grand garden. He's initially impressed by her dedication to her studies. But something is different today. Emily is engaged in a conversation with a young girl whom Mark has never seen before. A girl sitting on the lawn with tattered clothes, long braids, and an infectious energy. Her name is Maya. Maya, despite her circumstances, is teaching Emily about empathy, resilience, and the power of self-worth, lessons Mark had long forgotten in his pursuit of success. Intrigued, Mark watches from a distance, wondering how someone with nothing could teach his daughter so much about what really matters in life. The millionaire is caught off guard by his own confusion, unsure of how to react to the sight before him. As the days pass, Mark becomes increasingly curious about the unlikely friendship forming between his daughter and Maya. Emily, who has always been accustomed to a life of privilege, begins to transform. Her conversations with Maya center on values and perspectives that Mark had long dismissed as naive. Maya teaches her things his money never could: the power of kindness, the courage to challenge authority, and the strength that comes from embracing one's own story. Mark starts to notice changes in Emily. She's asking questions about race, inequality, and how she can help others. At first, he brushes it off, but the more Emily interacts with Maya, the more he realizes how much his daughter is being transformed. He watches his daughter, once so focused on grades and wealth, begin to value emotional intelligence and empathy over everything else. The tension builds when Mark learns that Maya is homeless and that her family lives in a shelter nearby. He feels a strange pang of guilt that he can't ignore. It dawns on him that he has spent his entire life building a fortune, yet he has failed to see the human side of the world, the side that Maya represents. He feels both awe and shame as he considers how this young girl, with little to her name, has been able to teach his daughter more than he ever could. The disparity between his life and Maya's begins to feel unbearable, and Mark realizes how insulated he has been from the very issues that shape the world around him. The turning point comes when Mark, finally overwhelmed by his feelings of guilt and confusion, decides to confront Maya. He arranges a meeting with her under the pretense of wanting to help. Still, when they sit down, the conversation takes an unexpected turn. Maya doesn't want charity. She wants understanding. She explains how people like her, people without wealth or influence, are often overlooked and dismissed. Yet, they are usually the ones with the most wisdom to offer. Her words strike Mark deeply, and for the first time, he feels the full weight of privilege and power. But the most powerful moment happens when Maya shares her own dream. She wants to be a teacher, someone who can give children like Emily the tools to see the world for what it truly is. She doesn't ask for anything, but Mark knows he can't just walk away from this moment. Maya's quiet strength, her unapologetic wisdom, and her refusal to accept the status quo change him forever. In that instant, he knows he must act, and not just for Maya's sake, but for his own redemption. Mark makes a decision that shocks everyone. He doesn't just write a check or offer a donation. He offers Maya a scholarship to attend the best teachers training program. But he goes even further. He establishes a mentorship program for at-risk youth, pairing them with successful individuals who can help guide them, just as Maya has guided him. The program focuses not just on education, but on emotional growth, self-worth, and resilience. Months later, Mark reflects on the journey that started with one brief encounter in his garden. The transformation in his family is undeniable. Emily, now more compassionate and aware of her own privilege, leads her peers in community outreach projects. Mark, forever changed by Maya's wisdom, speaks openly about the lessons he has learned and encourages others to step outside their comfort zones and privileges. The final scene shows Maya, now a teacher, standing before a group of eager students, her eyes filled with pride and hope. She's not just teaching them facts, she's teaching them the importance of understanding and humanity. Mark watches from the back of the classroom, filled with gratitude and awe. He realizes that sometimes the most valuable lessons come from the most unexpected sources. His life and his perspective have been irrevocably changed by a homeless black girl who chose to teach his daughter not just about books, but about life. As the story ends, the audience is left with a powerful reflection. How often do we ignore the wisdom of those we deem less than ourselves? And what could we learn if we stopped to listen? This story challenges the viewer to reconsider their assumptions about privilege, race, and the lessons we can learn from those outside our immediate circles.